What does this do? Another loss. LeBron's 4th loss in the NBA Finals. What does this do, if anything, to his legacy?
I think it raises his legacy, improves his legacy as a player, because he carried
Well, that's a different take.
a beat-up team all the way to the finals. Once Kyrie Irving went out, I thought it was going to be impossible for the Cavs to win more than one game. So LeBron got another game on top of that. But I'm going to twist it a little bit. I think LeBron's legacy suffers as a general manager. And let's face it, for the last 4 or 5 years, LeBron James has been the most powerful GM in the game.
The de facto GM.
Yeah,
right?
he put together the Miami Heat, and he put together this Cleveland team. And I'm here to tell you that if LeBron James had wrapped his arms around Andrew Wiggins and the Cleveland Cavaliers had kept the number 1 pick instead of trading that pick for Kevin Love, LeBron James would have another trophy now.
Is that fair?
It is fair.
Hold on. LeBron, if he is the de facto GM.
He is.
And I'm not
he's
going,
the de facto
I'm not
owner of not only the Cavs, he's the de facto owner of the city of Cleveland.
I'm not going to go to the mat with you on that one, okay? This sounds a lot like all those people who were screaming that Peyton Manning is really the general manager here when he's not. LeBron does probably have some input, okay? But they put a pretty good team together. And if Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love had been healthy, we might be talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers celebrating a championship in that city for the first time since 1948.
Yeah.
Okay? So you can't blame
Browns won in the
LeBron.
60s.
You can't, not a Super Bowl, though. You can't blame LeBron.
It's an NFL championship.
You can't blame LeBron for Irving and Kevin Love getting hurt. You just can't. I mean, that's a great team if those two guys are still there. And if LeBron was the guy who talked them into coming into Cleveland or talked his organization into signing them, then that makes him a pretty good GM in my eyes.
Okay, but a couple things here. Prior to this season, Kevin Love did have a history of injury. And second of all, if you're LeBron and you're thinking, I'm going to be in Cleveland for the rest of my career, doesn't it make more sense to have 20-year-old Andrew Wiggins rather than Kevin Love?
You're anointing Andrew Wiggins as a player that can help take you to an NBA championship. I know he's a good player. I love the guy.
Right.
And he was the Rookie of the Year in the NBA. I get that.
Yeah.
But if I'm going for a championship right now, I prefer Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving.
Okay. But to my eyes, Kevin Love and LeBron James, for the vast majority of the regular season, didn't play very well together, and maybe that's David Blatt's fault for not figuring it out.
And didn't it take time? I mean, it really was a whole new team. None of those guys had played together before. It took them about a third of a season or even a half a season to get their legs under them, to develop some chemistry.
I mean, because LeBron's the GM, he has to coach the team, and he has to star for the team.
He probably did coach the team. I'll give you the coach thing. I'm not going to give you the GM thing.
Okay, and I will say this, that Kyrie Irving is an immensely talented player, but he's a selfish pig. And it took LeBron a good half the season to say, Kyrie, sometimes when you're the point guard, this is a ball that you have to pass to somebody else. It's not all about you.
I don't think this should hurt his legacy.
No,
In fact, I agree with you. I think it should help his legacy. He took, and I've looked at some of the analytics that other NBA guys have done, NBA writers have done. He took, in 2007 and this year, 2 of the worst teams ever to get to the NBA Finals.
I agree with that.
In 2007, they were swept, and they very well should have been. And this team actually won 2 games and made every game competitive, and it was solely because of LeBron. Can't stand the LeBron bashers. The people who just spew hate for the guy. Oh, he's 2-4. Michael Jordan went 6-0 in NBA Finals. You know who else lost 4 NBA Finals?
Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson.
Ding, 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 ding.
Now, he won 5, but he did lose 4, and he played with a team of Hall of Famers every one of those years.
Okay. I'm not a LeBron basher, but what I don't like about the discourse in sports today is that you're forced to one end of the spectrum or the other. LeBron James is either the greatest player of all time or he's a bitter disappointment. I think the truth is somewhere in the middle.
But closer to one of the greatest players of all time.
Yes, then bitter disappointment.
Much closer.
But I don't think you can compare him to Magic Johnson as a champion or a player. I don't think I'm ready to compare him to Michael Jordan as a champion or a player. And I'll take it one step further, and this is what really irritates people. For my money, a better champion and a better player is Tim Duncan. And we'll wait another, if you want me to wait another 6, 7, 8 years for LeBron,
I think that's fair.
I will. But I think Tim Duncan has shown that he's not a GM, but he is the glue that's held the San Antonio, I don't want to say dynasty, but dominance together for over a decade.
I'm glad you didn't call them a dynasty. We're going to debate that in a little bit, too. What exactly is a sports dynasty? All right, that first segment brought to you by the Harmony Foundation, Colorado's premier treatment program for drug and alcohol addiction. It's located just outside of Estes Park. They reside on a beautiful, private 45-acre mountain campus. They are insurance-friendly. So if you have a problem or you know somebody who does, it could be drugs, it could be alcohol, it could be pizza, double bacon cheese pizza. Visit theharmonyfoundationinc.com, or I should say, let me give you the correct website, harmonyfoundationinc.com.